Russian consulate. We have Suesha now joining us from Noida. Suesha, very mysterious, very murky case. What can you tell us about how the two Russians died just 2 days apart from each other?
Oh, yes, and that exactly is the point of mystery, Ankit, which is now being looked into. One Russian MP and his aide who have been found dead 2 days apart in the same hotel in Odisha, and a lot of mystery as to how this could happen. The police just spoke as the investigation continues, and the MP was found dead as he allegedly fell from his hotel room while his aide had allegedly died of a heart stroke. That is the initial version that is just coming in, but foul play is what is also being projected by a certain section, because remember, the police is also trying to get into the details of this. These were two Russian tourists who have died, and one a multi-millionaire who was on a vacation at Raigad region in Odisha. He allegedly died after falling from the 3rd floor he was staying in. 2 days after, his fellow traveler who was found dead there, and the version that is coming in is that he suffered from a heart stroke. Now, the first victim who was in Odisha, he was there to celebrate his 65th birthday, and the second who died, a Russian MP, a Russian lawmaker, it happened within the same week. And let's also understand of why this becomes more mysterious, because reports coming in of how the first victim was a Putin critic. Now, there is a lot of speculation of who is responsible and whether there is any foul play in the death of the Russian lawmaker and his aide who died 2 days after. But on the face of it, of course, this is exactly what is coming to light. The first one who fell from the 2nd floor of the hotel he was staying in, and the second victim who died of a stroke. The superintendent of police investigating this matter also saying that the body was cremated on Monday with the permission of the family. However, they are now looking into all the details, and they are trying to get into the bottom of this, of whether there is actually more to this than what meets the eye. Because they say that the friend of the first victim, his aide, who died 2 days later, is also supposedly a result of him being in a depression after the first victim had died. So he too died on the 25th of December. Multi-millionaire died in a hotel in Odisha. That has majorly puzzled the cops. They are now getting into the bottom of it, but several reports coming to light of how he was a Putin critic, and whether there is actually more to this, whether this was done on intention. But these are the prima facie details that are emerging. Abhishek Kapoor, senior executive editor, will also join us shortly to give us more details as we played out that reaction coming in from the top cop in Odisha, who has spoken about how they are looking into every detail. Remember, he was a successful entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a multi-millionaire who was supposedly celebrating his 65th birthday in Odisha. I want to go back to Ankit, because Ankit, you're also tracking the story very closely, especially of what is being spoken of it on social media. Now, there is a lot of speculation of the fact that the man was a Putin critic, and also there could be foul play, a Russian hitman who could have led to this. But prima facie, the victim who died after he fell from the 3rd floor of that hotel he was staying in, and his aide who was in depression after his friend had died, and so he suffered a heart stroke.
I mean, something clearly doesn't seem to add up, or however, these series of events are almost too wild to make any sense. Russia has a noted history of having conducted, Suesha, in even the recent past, quote-unquote hit jobs abroad. There was an incident of a former spy who was killed in the UK. That led to a diplomatic snafu, I remember, between the UK and Russia after he was killed with a poisoning agent. That was a big geopolitical incident that had taken place. Now, on this occasion, we have a Russian member of parliament who was a noted critic of Vladimir Putin and the Ukraine war, who has been found dead. And this was just 2 days after an aide of his was also found dead. Now, one person having jumped off the third floor of the hotel in which they were staying in, another person seemingly having died of a stroke with bottles of wine around him. Just 2 days apart, it really begs to be investigated. There is no doubt that the police are on this case. There are many, I'm sure, angles in which they must probe. The post-mortem must be carried out. Communications, if there were any, that they had with people around them, I'm guessing will be probed as well. The Russian consulate is someone that they are in touch with at the moment, but of course the Russian consulate is operated by the Russian government. And so if these were Putin critics, then there is an element of discord there also. So there are clearly a number of angles that need to be probed, because this is a very murky, a very devious seeming incident that has taken place. Whether it took place of its own volition or not, it's certainly a global headline, because these two Russians have been found dead 2 days apart in the same hotel in a place that is very, very far from Russia. It's in Odisha, in India. They were here to celebrate something, and they unfortunately met their demise and have passed away. We've seen how political critics of Vladimir Putin are not given a long rope by any stretch of imagination in Russia. We've heard the famous case of Alexei Navalny, probably the tallest opposition, quote-unquote opposition leader in Russia, who essentially there was an attempt to poison him using some kind of nerve agent. Then he spent a long time in recovery. After he recovered, he was put under house arrest, and he's basically been put in some kind of internment facility from where it's impossible to get in touch with him. And there is almost a movement silently within Russia and quite loudly in countries that oppose Russia for freedom for Navalny. And it needs to be investigated whether we are witnessing something like that here. If it was a hit job, who was behind it? Was it affiliated with at all someone in Russia? These are all things that the Odisha police will have to probe, Suesha.
Absolutely, and that is exactly where the focus is right now. But Ankit, this is going to continue to make headlines, because if there is any foul play, that is exactly what is being looked into, because the very fact that the man happened to be a Putin critic, and a lot of buzz for those who are saying that this could be a hit job that may have happened from the top, but these are of course points of speculation. It is the Odisha police that is now looking into the matter, investigating every detail, and also saying that the last rites were performed with the permission of the family. The man was in Odisha to celebrate his 65th birthday, and his aide, who was also along with him. But the very fact that he died 2 days after is being said because he was depressed about his friend's death, and so he suffered a stroke exactly 2 days later. On December 22nd in the morning is when the first victim died, B. Vladimir, and Pavel Antonov, his aide, who died on the 25th of December. They had checked into the hotel on the 21st of December, and a day later when B. Vladimir died after he fell from the third floor of the hotel in Odisha. So 4 Russian tourists, to be precise, who had checked into that hotel. They were visiting Daringbadi in the Kandamal district, and they were there for a purpose. They were there for a celebration. Ankit, if I can come back to you, because it is really about tracing down the missing links, and this Russian MP who decided to celebrate his birthday in Odisha, a man who is a multi-millionaire, and his other aides present with him. Really, if the police and a larger team wanting to get into the depth of it, or what was happening before, why is it that they chose this particular location, how long they were planning to stay, Were there meetings lined up? So a lot of angles that could be looked into to really get into the bottom of this.
Doubt. In fact, from what we are told, the Russian MP, the 65-year-old, the leader of that party, who had brought 3 others with him apparently to Odisha, he was a sausage industry millionaire. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily seem like it was a business-related trip. Of course, we can only speculate on that. What was the real reason for them wanting to celebrate his 65th birthday in a place somewhere in Odisha? That is also something that we are yet to learn about. The details are still a bit sketchy. From what we are told, this was a party of 4 tourists, and they also had a guide with them. So I'm sure that the police will also, Surisha, inquire into what the others were doing, what is their telling of these events, and also certainly the circumstances in which these 2 people died, B. Vladimir and Pavel Antov. So Vladimir Bedanov is the one who died first, and he was found dead, unconscious in his room with empty bottles of wine around him. So that is a death that needs to be explained. And then 2 days later, when this Russian MP Pavel Antov, he was found in a pool of his own blood, having seemingly jumped or fallen from the 3rd floor of the hotel, seemingly because he was upset over the death of his friend 2 days earlier. It's very flimsy to say that both of these deaths were suicide. I think needs to be investigated more very clearly. And like we've been talking about, whether or not it was some kind of quote-unquote hit job, that also I'm sure the police will try to ascertain where or whether or not there were others who these people had got in touch with. And if it was some element of foul play, then who was behind it? It's a real mystery. It's a case that clearly has a lot of open ends and loose ends and a lot of questions that need answering. It really, the logistics of it are what are most peculiar, because these are Russian tourists. They're also influential, they're wealthy, they're politically active, they're in the public space. One's an elected MP, and he's been found dead in Odisha, which is very far from Russia and Moscow. So that's where we are, seemingly, Suesha.
Absolutely, and a matter of huge speculation, Ankit, really waiting for further details to come out as far as the investigation that continued. It is continues, I beg your pardon. It is the Odisha cops who are looking into every detail, especially of the hotel that both of them were staying in and the others who were traveling with them on this very trip. We'll leave it at that, Ankit, for now. We'll come back to this in a short while as we get further updates. With that, it's time for us to slip into a very short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details as Congress leader Salman Khurshid has sparked off a massive controversy. He's compared Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram. This is evoking a lot of reactions. Also, Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya visited Safdarjung Hospital. He took stock of the COVID mock drill.
Mr. Blanc, you're the world's greatest detective, right?
In your words, there has been a murder. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
Wow!
Well, I'm out of here.
Yeah, me too.
Lock the doors. Stay in your rooms. Everyone is in danger.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
It is important to keep your HbA1c in the target range of 6.5 to 7% to avoid complications.
With Beto's Diabetes Care program, get online doctor consultation, all your prescribed medicines and a dietitian consultation. Get a free glucometer and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care program. Give a missed call on 740 1100.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
समय कभी किसी का इंतजार नहीं करता। देर न कीजिए, यह आपके द्वारा दिया हुआ टैक्स ही है जो आज देश को सुरक्षित और समृद्ध बना रहा है। शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की सुविधाओं को देश के कोने कोने तक पहुंचा रहा है। करदाता कृपया ध्यान दें, यदि आपने अब तक निर्धारण वर्ष 2022-23 की अपनी टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल नहीं की है, तो लेट फीस के साथ 31 दिसंबर 2022 तक आप अपनी टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं। और यदि आपने निर्धारण वर्ष 2022-23 की अपनी टैक्स रिटर्न ड्यू डेट से पहले फाइल की थी, तो आप अपनी रिवाइज्ड रिटर्न बिना लेट फीस के 31 दिसंबर 2022 तक फाइल कर सकते हैं। याद रखें, निर्धारण वर्ष 2022-23 की टैक्स रिटर्न भरने की अंतिम तिथि है 31 दिसंबर 2022। प्रत्येक आय करदाता एक राष्ट्र निर्माता।
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
Thank you for staying with Republic. We cut across to more breaking news coming in after Russian MPs were found dead in a hotel in Odisha. Now, sources in the Russian embassy who are putting out details that read, and I quote, "We are aware of the tragedy that happened in Odisha, where 2 of our citizens died. One of them is Pavel Antov, member of the Legislative Assembly of the Vladimir Oblast. We are in constant touch with the relatives of the deceased as well as with the local authorities. As far as we know, the police does not see any criminal component in these tragic events." So this is coming in from sources in the Russian embassy, putting out details and giving a hint of how Russia is now suspecting any foul play so far. They have expressed regret over the tragedy and saying that they are in touch with the family of the deceased, also the local authorities, as the investigation continues. But they are saying that as they are tracking every detail very closely, the local police that is investigating into the matter does not see a criminal component in these tragic events. That's the exact statement coming in from sources in the Russian embassy. Remember, at one end, speculation is rife of how there could be foul play because also the wealthy lawmaker, the man in question, who died after he was found dead mysteriously falling from the 3rd floor of the hotel, was Putin's critic. He was critical of the Ukraine war and had criticized Putin on several fronts. So there is a lot of hearsay and speculation on whether this could be foul play. But Russian embassy is saying that they're tracking every detail with the local police. Abhishek, I believe you're with me on the phone line. What more are you picking up from your sources in the Russian embassy? How are they looking at the death of these 2 Russian lawmakers?
Okay, so Suesha, this is a preliminary statement that is being attributed to Russian sources in New Delhi and obviously the embassy, and that's that they are aware of the tragedy that happened, and they have acknowledged that 2 of their citizens have died. One of them, of course, is identified as Pavel Antov, who was a member of the Legislative Assembly of the Vladimir Oblast, and not of the Russian Duma. And he was, we are told, in fact, a member of the Committee on Agrarian Policy, Nature Management, Ecology, among others. But what the Russian sources tell us is that they are, in fact, in contact with both the sides. The police investigating the case, about whom they say that as of now, the police has not informed them about any criminal component in these deaths. And then on the side of Russia back home, They are in touch with the families, the relatives of the two Russians who have died, including, of course, the politician who's supposed to be not on the very right side of the establishment in Moscow or on the right side of Kremlin. But be that as it may, what is important is that we are still trying to ascertain both from the ground, from the police, as to whether they have made any headway, because the deaths remain shrouded in mystery.
And we've cut across to these details as actor Tanisha's last rites are to be performed at 3 p.m. Her mortal remains have been brought to the cremation ground. That ambulance that has just left with her mortal remains. And her mortal remains are now being brought to the cremation site. Unfortunate that this had to happen is what friends and family members have been saying. Many of her professional contacts and colleagues who say that she had a very promising career ahead. She was a very bright girl, very hardworking, had been working from a very young age, and nobody could have imagined an end like this would be to her life. She committed suicide, where Tanisha's mother has been blaming Shizan, who she was in a relationship with. He was also her co-actor. Sandeep, I want to come to you. You're tracking every detail on the ground. The mortal remains being taken to the cremation ground. 3 p.m. is when the cremation will happen.
Yes, a very tough day for the family, and in fact, the mortal remains will be brought here at the Enterprise Society, where Tunisia, the complete family is out here. And in fact, all the family members are out here at the Enterprise Society, and the final prayers will take place here, and following which she will be taken to the nearest cremation center, in Mila Road. And in fact, once the mortal remains come here, the mortal remains will be taken to the cremation center. In fact, the family member, a very tough day. In fact, remember, Tunisia was very young when this incident when she committed suicide. It was just 20 years, and being in relationship with Shizan Khan, she was very much upset with the fact that Shizan was dating multiple girls, and in fact, it has been more than 3 days now that this suicide committed, and in fact today the final rites are going to take place.
Absolutely, Sandeep, and those who know her very closely and knew her very closely, I beg your pardon, saying that to say that she was depressed was far from what they could imagine, because she always came across as a very happy-go-lucky girl, and she had her whole life ahead of her. Just 20 years of age, and very unfortunate that she had to go like this. Sandeep, I have to slip into a short break right now, but I will come back to you on the other side, as the last rites of Tunisia will be performed shortly from now. All right, Sandeep, probably not the right time. We are trying to get into every detail, also to speak to Tunisia's family on what they had to say, because let's understand that according to the cops, Shizan has been changing statements, and that is what they gather in so many days of interrogation. Because Sandeep, at one end, in the start, where Shizan was saying that it was due to an age gap, differences in their religion, that led him to break up with her 15 days before she actually committed suicide. Now he's also saying that it is Tunisia's family who were exerting a lot of pressure that they must break up, and which is why he took this step. So varying statements coming in from Shizan, but those who remember Tunisha, Sandeep, say that there must be justice for her, and if Shizan is responsible for her death, then he must be given the most strictest of punishment.
Indeed, whoever knew Tunisha Sharma are in fact very depressed. Now, this is actually showing you the pictures of Tunisha Sharma. What will remain as a fact right out here? What will remain as a right here and soon from now, anytime from now, she will be in fact taken to the crematorium, and the family members are here. Family members, Tunisha members are here. Family members, Tunisha's family members. So the family members are here. Family members of Tunisha Sharma. Tunisha's family members are here, and in fact, the mortal remains have been brought. Back, and media have been stopped outside her residence. So anytime from now, Tunisha Sharma will be taken for cremation, and it is a very tough time for the family. As I was talking on the point of investigation, remember Shizan is time and again changing his statement. Once he gives the age gap a reason, another time he gives the reason of religion, age gap. Apart from that, he also mentions that there is a love jihad angle also. He was very stressed with the fact that there is a and in fact the TV stars have started in fact arriving out here. We'll show you the visuals. The friends and families have in fact started arriving out here. The friends and families in fact started arriving out here. So as I was talking about the investigation, that was in fact the interrogation of Shizan Khan. Shizan Khan is continuously in fact changing his statement, and in fact yesterday when he was informed by the lady officer, the interrogating officer, he in fact started crying in the cell when he was informed about the final rites and the funerals of Tunisha Sharma. He was in fact he broke down before her and he started crying. Apart from that, on the end of interrogation, he is again and again changing his statement. More than 17 people's statement have been recorded so far, and he has given several other different statements. On one hand, he says that he was there was a huge gap between Tunisha Sharma and Shizan, and for the same reason he broke up. Apart from that, what the family members have made allegations. The family members of Tunisha Sharma have made allegations that Shizan was dating multiple women at the same point of time, and hence, he broke up with Tunisha Sharma, and for the same reason, in fact, she committed suicide. Remember, at this point of time, a lot of happenings out there. We'll try to go there. We'll try to go there, up there, and get you some more visuals from there. And remember, as I was talking, he's again and again changing the statements. And as far as this case is concerned, he mentions he's upset. He's upset that Tunisha. He's sad that Tunisha took this step. But showing you the visuals, Sunil, if you could come here, we'll show you the visuals out from here. This shot, we'll show you the visuals out here. My video journalist Kanti Parmar will show you the visuals out here. So the final rites gonna take place, and here we give you the exclusive visuals from the society, where Tunisha used to in fact reside. And as we were talking about the allegations that were made by the family members, family had alleged that Shizan was dating multiple girls at the same point of time, and in fact he didn't wanted to keep relations with Tunisha. Family members also make allegations
that he used Tunisha, and for the same reason she was very much upset and very much depressed. She also got an anxiety attack meanwhile, and in fact she was also hospitalized 10 days before of this suicide. And apart from that, if you go through with the investigation, police is in fact trying to get the statement of that woman who was in fact in relationship with Shehzan. Was she aware of Tunisha Sharma being in relationship? And in fact, these are the visuals that we are showing you. Visuals from the residence of Tunisha Sharma. Tunisha used to reside here, and anytime from now she will be, the final rites will take place, and the family members are here, and a very tough time for the family members. Remember the sequence just before committing suicide. She had, in fact, lunch together with Shehzan. She was upset with Shehzan, and she was not eating anything. And at that point of time, Shehzan tried convincing her. That's what the testimony of Shehzan is. That is what the statement that has been, in fact, given by Shehzan. That at that point of time, Shehzan, in fact, Shehzan, in fact, urged her to have lunch together. After that, they had a lunch, and in fact, he went for a shot. And after 15 minutes of that, lunch together, they had lunch. She took this step, and she committed suicide. And that is something, what happened in these 15 minutes. What was she thinking? What were the conversation between Tunisha Sharma and Shehzan Khan? These are some of the questions that Walif police is looking answers out for. But at this point of time, a very tough day for the family members. Remember, Republic TV also spoke to the family members. We spoke exclusively with her mother, and she was very much tense, depressed. And in fact, today also I spoke to her. She was not well yesterday. In fact, when she went into JJ hospital there, and when she saw the face of Tunisha, she fainted at the same time. And in fact, she was given some medications there, and later on she was brought home. Indeed, a mother who lost a young 20-year-old child, a talented child who was in fact, who got everything, who got a fame, name, and who was growing up in her career. And she was doing very well with her career. But unfortunately, she had in fact committed suicide now.
Oh yes, absolutely, Sandeep. And those who've known her say that she had everything going right for her. Then why such a tragic end? She was bright, she was promising, she was extremely talented, she was a child artist. The industry was very, very welcoming when it came to her talent. And she had worked on several TV shows while she was in her early teens. She had also worked on some Bollywood films. What led her to take such a drastic decision? And was she really depressed? Because those who've known her say that it is hard to believe the depression theory, because she came across as a very happy-go-lucky girl. She came across as a girl who was very happy with the way her life was going, with what was happening. But it was this relationship that was peculiar, that was bothering her. It was upsetting her on very many levels. This is exactly what her family is claiming, Sandeep, that Shehzan used to torture her. Shehzan used to keep her under stress. Shehzan promised her that he would marry her, but he was actually seeing other girls as well. He was never serious about this relationship. He broke up with her 15 days ago before she actually went on to commit suicide, and she was under a lot of stress because of that, and he misled her. Those are the claims of the family. So much so that the mother has actually gone on to say that he must be given the strictest punishment. But on the other hand, we are seeing that Shizan is being interrogated, and the varying statements of Shizan, that is also now in focus, Sandeep, because my sources also told me how when he was arrested on day one, he kept saying that he must be allowed to go because his credibility, his work was getting affected, and there was no sensitivity towards the fact that Tunisia had actually gone on to commit suicide. And yesterday he broke down in front of a female officer where he went on to say that he wants to attend the last rites of Tunisia. So where really did he stand when it came to Tunisia? Was he actually bothered about her? Was he actually a person who cared for her feelings, or is it that he just wants to come out of this whole situation? Because he says that he was the one who had broken up. He also had said that because there was an age gap, because there was a difference in their religions, so which is why he broke up. But now he's been claiming that the family, that is Tunisia's family, was exerting a lot of pressure on them, and which is why he went on to break up with her. So what really is the truth? And we understand, Sandeep, how very many of those who knew Tunisia very closely, who Tunisia may have confided in, are now being called by the Wali police and they are being questioned.
Yes, these are some of the questions, of which even the Walev police are looking answer for. Remember, the statement that is being time and again given by Shizan is, he is trying to confuse police by his statements. He sometimes, his body language since last 2 days was in another mode. In fact, when I spoke to one of the senior officials of Walev, he mentions that since last 2 days his body language was quite arrogant. He was not behaving well and he was confusing us. And on the other hand, when a lady officer yesterday informed Shizan about the final rites and the funeral, he in fact started crying and in fact stated that he wants to attend the funeral of Tunisia Sharma. Although as he is into the police custody, for any such thing we need a court's permission, and until and unless you don't have any permission from the court, you cannot attend any other activity. So for the same reason he was denied the permission, and in fact he was not allowed. But yes, there are several statements that is being coming out from Shizan, but what police says is that we are not satisfied with the statement that is being in fact given by Shizan, and in fact for the same reason they have almost questioned more than 17 to 20 people, and this includes the co-stars, the family friends, the friends of Tunisia and Shizan as well. And in fact, apart from that, a female common friend of Tunisia and Shizan is in fact been called today, and her statement will also be recorded. Apart from that, Palak Jutsi, who was the co-actor there, his statement is also being recorded at the Walev police station. So there are several questions and several dots which are needed to be connected and by the Walev police, and in fact the Walev police is trying to investigate, dig more to get more information about this. But yes, at this point of time it is a tough time for the family, because the final rites are in fact underway here at in fact they will be taking Tunisia Sharma from here, and in fact the funeral will take place. There's a crematorium, Mira Road crematorium ground, wherein they will be taken for cremation. and the final goodbye to Tunisha Sharma, a young and hard-working actress who got name and fame with her hard work. And
मैम कुछ आप अपना बयान कुछ कहना चाहेंगे जिस तरह से डेथ हुई है?
A very, very somber time for the family and those who were close to Tunisha, grieving the tragic end that no one would have imagined. She would actually take such a drastic step to end her life. But her last rites that are now being performed, and remember, her mortal remains a short while ago were brought from the hospital to this point where the cremation will take place. Everyone remembering Tunisha for the fact that she was a young, budding, talented actor, had everything going right for her, had a lot to achieve and succeed in, had so much to do, but why is it that she chose to end her life at a young age of 20? All the blame that is currently being pinned upon Shizan, her co-actor, who she was also in a relationship with, and he had broken up with her just 15 days before she actually decided to end her life. Not just this point also critical because he was the very man she had had a meal with 15 minutes before she decided to end her life. What transpired in those 15 minutes? What were happening in those 15 days? Those are the questions that the Valley police is now trying to get into the depth of. Remember, a lot of colleagues of Tunisha and Shizan have been questioned who say that they were not really privy to the personal details and how the relationship was transpiring, as all looked normal on the sets of the show that they were working on. However, were there some people who Tunisha was confiding in, where she had put out details as being stated by her mother? Her mother, who has claimed that Shizan tortured her. He kept her under a lot of stress. He was never serious about the relationship. He was dating other girls while he was in a relationship with Tunisha. He promised to marry her, but he was only misleading her all the way long. And he was 8 years older than her. Then why isn't that he was more responsible? The charge of abetment to suicide that has been pressed against him as he is being interrogated. But Sandeep, I want to come back to you because his statements have been varying. In the start, no sensitivity towards the fact that Tunisha is gone, saying that my work is getting affected, let me go. Yesterday he says that I want to attend her last rites. So far he was saying that it was because of the difference in religion, because of the age gap that he decided to break up with her. Now he's saying that Tunisha's family is responsible for the breakup because they were exerting a lot of pressure on them that they must break up. So the statements must be looked into, Sandeep.
See, indeed, that is the same reason why, police is in fact not satisfied with his statement and confession. And in fact, they are not even considering it. His statement are not even considered because, at this point of time, the only person who could have, expressed about Tunisha was Tunisha herself, and what she went through, what were the pain that was in fact bared by her, what went wrong with Tunisha and Shizan, and other person is Shizan himself. But at this point of time, as Shizan is under the police custody, and in fact he's trying to save himself, he's misguiding and in fact misleading the police officials, and in fact he's making all very effort to get rid of this police custody. And he's trying to confuse police officials, and till yesterday he was behaving very arrogant. And in fact, remember, on the first day he said that let me allow me to go. His credibility is being hit by this case. So. And on the just before a day when he was informed about the final rights of Tunisha Sharma, ultimately he started crying. So the question out here is, where was his feelings when Tunisha was was there for him, when Tunisha wanted only love and love from him. So at that point of time, he dated several women, and that is something, police is trying to investigate and police wants that kind of statement from his mouth. Police want a confession from him, but at this point of time, he knows that the police custody is going to end by tomorrow. So he's trying to, in fact, confuse the police officials, and in fact he's giving several other statements so that nothing more can be done. So at this point of time, police can rely on the statements of the friends, family, and the co-workers, and the close friends, the best friend of Shizan Khan, the best friend of Tunisha Sharma, and in fact, as when we are talking at this point of time, Parth Juchi, the co-actor, and in fact one of the common female friend of Tunisha and Shizan. Let me repeat myself: the common female friend of Tunisha and Shizan. She is also being questioned by Walif police. So although her identity is not revealed yet, who is she, what is her background, whether she is from television field or not, but at this point of time she is also being questioned, and in fact police is in fact not telling more about her. And in fact, there is also a story of a secret girlfriend as well, although nothing more is being revealed by police over these people. But yes, these are the people who are being interrogated, and their testimonies will be very much important at this point of time.
Oh yes, absolutely, and that is the process that the police is in at this point, as the questioning continues with Shizan, who, remember, Sandeep had yesterday said that he really would want to attend the last rites of Tunisha, but the family in this very somber moment, as they are saying that there must be justice for Tunisha also, the charge that has been pressed against him of abetment to suicide. The TV industry turning out in large numbers, as many of them have also worked with Tunisha, and they had never imagined such an end as what they have been saying, because she was all of 20 years of age, very, very young, had a bright future ahead of her, had been doing exceedingly well given that she was a child artist, and she had been a part of some very, very prestigious projects through the course of her career at such a young age. She had all going well for her, then why is it that she decided to take her own life, and such a drastic step that led to such a tragic end? But all the blame right now by her family is being pinned on Shizan, who is being questioned by the Mumbai police, and many others who are being called in for questioning, who may have known the couple very closely, who may have been the people who Tunisha confided in, and they may have had inside details to validate whether what Tunisha's mother has been claiming all along is also a statement that comes out from them. So that is the very point that the police is now looking into, as Tunisha's mother has been very categoric about the fact that it was Shizan who had tortured her daughter. It was Shizan who was never serious about her from the very start. He was dating other girls, and he made promises to Tunisha for marriage, but he was actually only misleading and misguiding her. He was 8 years older than her, and better sense should have prevailed that he should not have led her daughter to the point where she decided to commit suicide. And I want to come back to you, Sandeep. You're standing outside that very society where Tunisha's family lives, and her last rites that will be performed now as her mortal remains have been brought. A very difficult time to still accept that she's actually gone, but what led to her death? And it becomes all the more suspicious because Shizan was the last person she had met before she actually decided to commit suicide. Shizan was the person she had lunch with before she took her own life. What transpired in those 15 minutes? That's the most critical angle in this investigation right now.
See, indeed, that is that is something what police is also looking out for, and in fact, Tanisha was a well-doing person. She was from a family which was doing well as well. She was in fact, she started her career as a child artist. Later on, she grew up, and in fact, she got name, fame, everything she got in her life. But ultimately, she was cheated. She was cheated by Shizan Khan, and in fact, remember the lunch that, as you were describing as well, the lunch that took place, the lunch between Tanisha and Shizan, and after that life-taking lunch, she committed suicide. And the 15 minutes, as you remember, 15 days ago of this suicide, she had committed, in fact, Shizan had broken up with Tanisha. So she was very much depressed, and in fact, between this, she also got an anxiety attack. Now, what Shizan Khan claims is, Shizan Khan claims that between this time, she also tried committing suicide, and he saved her life. That is what is being claimed by Shizan. But police is not taking this on record because he's the only person who says that she tried committing suicide and he saved her. And in fact, Tanisha, police is now trying to connect to the best friends of Tanisha and Shizan to get their version. Because usually a person shares their part of life to their best friends, to their close friends who are they into regular touch. And as Tanisha was a happy-go-lucky person, she was very much open-minded and in fact very hard-working as well. So police is in fact now, it is hard to digest for police as well. How can a person who was very joyous in life can take such a drastic step?
Oh yes, absolutely. And that is exactly what everyone is wondering right now as they are grieving the death of Tanisha, a young girl, all of 20 years of age, extremely bright, that smiling face. But the fact that she's gone, she decided to take her own life when she had everything going right for her. Probably not this relationship, but what really prompted her to finish everything, to actually end her life when she had a lot going in her favor, is something that those who knew her very closely are thinking of. Her last rites to be performed. This is Tanisha's residence, out of which my colleague Sandeep is standing. This is in Vasai, and that ambulance that is being readied now, where Tanisha's mortal remains will also be taken to where the cremation is being conducted. The last rites will be done shortly from now. This is her final journey. Sandeep, continue talking to us to what is happening there. A moment of grief for all those who did not even know her, because just to imagine that somebody as bright could go like this is very disheartening.
See, indeed, she had a huge fan following in kids as well. Kids used to watch her television show, and in fact, there were several, people who were her fans as well. And if if a person like that, the grief is very big. This is not something that will remain temporary. This is a long time pain for not just the family members, but also with for her fans as well. And in fact, Tunisha herself was a child artist. She acted in several films as well. So she was very, ambitious girl, and she ending her life like this was something that cannot be, in fact, believed as well. So yes, tough time for the family as well, and also for her fans as well, and also for the people who aspire to become an actor. Because remember, everyone does not get name, fame, and this kind of light in television or in Bollywood industry. And remember what happened in Sushant Singh case as well. Remember what happened, what is happening in this case as well. So, this is the second time wherein TV industry, or in fact Bollywood industry, we could say Bollywood or TV industry is in controversy. But yes, this is happening in television industry, and a young actor like Tunisha is ending her life just because.
Sandeep, I'm sorry, but we have to slip into a very short commercial break right now. But we are keeping our focus on this, Tunisha's last rites, to be performed shortly.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,700 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
Here, gravity and physics don't call the shots, and sound travels slower than you. This is a different kind of place. That's why we're looking for different kind of people, for whom excellence is not a job, but a way of being, be it in the sky or on the ground. We are looking for an invincible team of invincible people. People who are a cut above.
Join the Indian Air Force to be a cut above.
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
Uncontrolled diabetes can lead to long-term complications and damage your heart, eyes, kidney and nerves if remains untreated.
With Pito's Diabetes Care program, get online doctor consultation, all your prescribed medicines and a dietitian consultation. Get a free glucometer and expert advice with Pito's Diabetes Care program. Give a missed call on 740 1100.
All right, viewers, we are live and breaking right now, and right now visuals coming in from Tunisha's residence. The last rites of Tunisha are right now underway, and she will be taken, the mortal remains of Tunisha will be taken to the crematorium very soon, and this is the last rites and the final bye to Tunisha. At the same time, we're also, at this point of time, getting you all the top updates as the investigation into the Tunisha death probe continues. But the visuals on your screen right now of the last rites, which will be conducted, they're in fact on their way to be conducted, and last rites are being conducted. And the parents of Tunisha had put a post on Instagram saying that it is the last bye, the last farewell to Tunisha. And this is happening in Mira Road as well, viewers. This is happening in Mumbai, in Mira Road, viewers, and the visuals coming in at this point of time. And we're getting new top updates where the investigation is continuing, and Sandeep is also joining us live from Tunisha's residence. Sandeep, take us through what is happening right now, because very soon her last rites will be conducted. And of course, we are telling our viewers about the latest in the investigation too. But at this point of time, of course, a very emotional moment for the family members of Tunisha.
See, yes, Shivangi, very tough time for the.
Yes, and the society will be taken.
All right, we'll come back to Sandeep, but the visuals coming in at this point of time, and viewers, the last rites of Tunisha will begin very soon. At the same time, many different angles have been coming to the fore in regard with the case. A lot of developments have happened since morning. In fact, the top 5 developments are this. Actor Parth arrived at the police station. Shizan has changed statements during interrogation. Shizan has also cried during questioning. The last rites are being conducted right now. They're about to begin very soon. And the mortal remains have been handed over for the last rites as well. So these are the top 5 developments coming in, viewers, right now. But Tunisha's mother has put the blame completely right now on Shizan. But Shizan is going in, who is in police custody. He is saying that that the reason for suicide was very different. In fact, let's go back to Sandeep. Sandeep is joining us live. Sandeep, just take us through what is happening right now, because it is Tunisha's final journey. And like I was telling you earlier, must be a very emotional moment, not just for Tunisha's family members, but also for her fans.
Indeed, a very tough time for the fans and family as well, because at this point of time, the actress who got name, fame, and a good career, in fact, a good start to the career. Remember, being 20 years old and achieving so much is a very difficult task. People struggle a lot to just stand in front of the camera, and she was someone who was the star of the show of Alibaba, and in fact. She was the only character who was loved a lot, and be it kids, be it senior citizen, women's, everyone used to love Tunisha's character in the show. And in fact, she has acted in several other Bollywood films as well, being a child actress as well. Indeed, a tough time for the people who knew her and in fact who know her as well. And on the same time, I'm where I am is the Indraprasth Society, where on the 18th floor of this society, she used to reside with the family. She used to reside here on the 18th floor. And in fact, any time from now, the mortal remains will be in fact taken for the funeral. And in fact, when I spoke to her mother today also, she requested me to not to record her statement. She mentions that in fact yesterday when she went in to JJ hospital, she fainted after just having a look, just after watching her daughter's face. She fainted there, and she could not accept the fact that she is not alive anymore. And in fact, when I spoke today, she was very depressed and she was not even able to speak. And in fact, she said that she is unable to accept the fact that she has lost her daughter. And this is something, any mother will not be able to, accept that a young daughter who is doing so good in the industry, television industry. There was no godfather for Tunisha Sharma. She did all of it all alone. And she never had any kind of backup as well. So it is indeed a very tough time for a mother as well. And now from here, the family members and the mortal remains will be taken up, will be moving towards the crematorium, the Mira Road crematorium. And in fact, she will be in fact cremated there. And in fact, tough time for the family, Shuangi.
Absolutely. And our viewers are watching these live visuals. And as our viewers watch what is happening there, these are visuals coming in from Tunisha's residence where her last rites will be performed. It's a final goodbye to the actor. Let's talk a little bit about, Sandeep, about the developments which are coming in today. So there were top developments today itself where a couple of friends of Tanisha were interrogated. Actor Parth had arrived at the police station, and that's something that was the latest coming in on the death probe. Sandeep, do we have any idea about what conversation would have transpired and what was actor Parth quizzed on?
See, Parth Juchi is the co-actor in the Alibaba show, and in fact, not just Parth Juchi, there is one more female friend who is also being called, and she is also there in the police station, and she is also being questioned by the police there in the Valif police station. Remember, police is also trying to find out the details of that secret woman who Shizan was in relationship with. So at this point of time, it is a challenge for police as well to find that woman who in fact was in relationship at the same point of time when Tunisha was also there with Shizan Khan. And as she was, as she got to know about the relationship with as Shizan's relationship came into the light in front of Tunisha was also very upset that Shizan was in fact dating several other women at the same point of time, and in fact Shizan broke up at that point of time. That is what being said by the police sources. And as Shizan broke up with Tunisha cannot bear this. Tunisha was not able to bear this pain, and for the same reason, in fact, what it is being said that Tunisha was not able to accept that fact that Shizan, who was who Tunisha used to love a lot, had betrayed Tunisha. So for the same reason, as of now, it is being said that she might have committed suicide, but there's no answer on the question when what happened, what transpired in that 15 minutes after the lunch with the last lunch with Shizan and Tunisha had together. And in fact, Shizan, after what Shizan says is that he tried convincing her to have lunch together as she was not having anything from days. So Shizan tried convincing her, and in fact Shizan went on for his shoot, and she was alone in the makeup room. And as she was alone in the makeup room, as soon as he went, within 15 minutes she committed suicide. And in fact that is the answer what police is looking out for, that what happened in those 15 minutes, what was the conversation between Shizan and Tunisha that led to take Tunisha such big step.
Right. And Sandeep, it's very, very apparent how close Shizan and Tunisha were, because there was an Instagram post not too long back where she has posted that the most hardworking, passionate, enthusiastic and most beautiful man in my life, and there's a picture of Tunisha with Shizan there. So the closeness between them cannot, of course, be invalidated. On that note, we are taking a very short break, just waiting for the last rites of Tunisha to start. We'll get you all the updates.
Tonight, a murder will be committed. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game.
This is truly delightful.
Holy
There has been a murder. For one person, this is not a game. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again.
You must be really great at clues.
I'm very bad at dumb things.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
क्या हुआ रोहन? क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
All right, viewers, getting those visuals in from Tunisha's residence, where the family members are going to bid a final goodbye to Tunisha. And they posted on Instagram, and this is the message that Tunisha's family posted. Our beloved Tunisha, with a sorrowful heart, we are informing you that Tunisha left us for heavenly abode on 24th December. We wish for everyone to come and offer their last prayers to the departed soul. And the last rites will begin soon. Those are the visuals coming in, and this will happen at the Meera Road cremation ground. And Sandeep is with us as well. Sandeep is tracking the story and developments from ground. Sandeep, like I was telling you and asking you before the break, there was an Instagram post that Tunisha had posted with Shazan, where she wrote on that post, "Most beautiful man in my life." So a lot of people that Republic has spoken to, that you have spoken to, they have definitely said that both of them, Shazan and Tunisha, were extremely close and extremely attached. Sandeep.
Auntie. So yes, Shivangi, as you rightly mentioned about the Instagram post, and you know, this shows that how much she loved Shazan Khan, and that is the reason, you know, she cannot bear the pain of losing Shazan, and she gave everything. If you go through with the statement of her mother, she mentions that she gave everything, she loved her a lot, but things didn't happen, and in fact Shazan cheated. That is what the allegation. And in fact, anytime from soon, as I'm giving you visuals, my video journalist Kanti Parmar is giving you exclusive visuals from this very place, and in fact you can see the friends, family, all of them are here. The co-workers, the co-stars, are all of them are here, and in fact they were here to pay homage. They were here for the last prayers of Tunisha Sharma, and in fact anytime soon from now her mortal remains will be in fact taken out, and soon, as of now, as you can see, the ambulance is likely to move towards the crematorium ground, and the visuals Kanti Parmar is showing you that Tunisha's photo is on that very ambulance, and the ambulance have moved. The ambulance have started moving, and in fact would request my VJ Kanti Parmar to also show you the visuals. The ambulance is moving now, and now anytime the ambulance have moved, and in fact anytime from now, shortly, she will be taken to the crematorium wherein she will be cremated. The mothers. So back-to-back update on India's topmost story. Tunisha suicide case. Stay tuned with Republic TV for more updates.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,700 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, viewers, going back to the top story right now from Tunisha's residence, where the ambulance has started to move at this point of time, and it will take place at the cremation will take place at Mira Road Crematorium. Visuals on a screen of the family members moving with the mortal remains of Tunisha. The visuals coming in live, and Sandeep, if you're with us right now, just take us through who is present at the spot. We know the family members are present. Anybody else who's present? Any politician or any actor?
See, at this point of time, the family members and in fact the co-workers, the people who knew, in fact, Tunisha Sharma. So now the ambulance have in fact is in fact leaving now, and the family members now you can see the visuals. बात है आपके
इससे बड़ा दुख क्या है?
शहजान को सजा होनी चाहिए.
जो भी कसूरवार उसको होना चाहिए.
The family member out here, and Tunisha's mortal remains, and the mother, look at her mother. The mother who is into pain, huge pain she cannot bear. That is Tunisha Sharma.
Please side दीजिए, जाने दीजिए.
The family members, Tunisha's mother, you can see in the visual. So the family members are out here, and in fact the final rites is going to take place anytime soon from now, and the mortal remains and the family members have left for the funeral. And in fact she was very young when she lost her life. In fact, she committed suicide. And now we are also moving towards the crematorium ground, wherein Tunisha's mother, you can see she is into a lot of pain. Tunisha's mother, she is in huge pain. She is in huge pain, in fact. Kanti bhai, aaiye. She's... गाड़ी किधर है? बोलो.
All right, so the ambulance is moved right now, like Sandeep is getting us all the visuals, and the family members of Tunisha are inside that ambulance, and like Sandeep was telling us, our correspondent on ground, this is a very, very emotional and tragic moment for the family members. Let's go across to Swesha as well, who's joining us live from the Delhi newsroom. Swesha, we are seeing these visuals come in right now, and the family members completely heartbroken.
Oh yes, it is indeed very, very tragic for the family, who are still finding it hard to believe that their daughter has actually gone. And remember, Shivangi, because the family has been claiming all along that everything was going right for her. It was really this one relationship that spoiled everything and led to such a tragic end. She had not really was a person who friends and family describe as someone, she was a go-getter, she was talented, she had everything going right for her career-wise, and she had a bright future ahead of her. Of course, as Tunisha's mother puts it, that it was Shizan who used to torture her in the relationship, who had misled her. He had made promises to her for marriage, but it was far from what the truth was, because she claims that Shizan was also in a relationship with other girls. And Shizan's varying statements at this point that are really a matter of investigation, exactly what sources in the police also tell us. Because initially he was not very sensitive to the fact that Tunisha had gone. On the contrary, he kept claiming that, he had informed his mother that she was going through a streak where she had tried to commit suicide earlier also, and he was the one who had stopped her. And he had said that he had broken up with her on the pretext that there was an age gap between the two, and since there were differences, I beg your pardon, since the religions were different, so he had broken up with her on that pretext. But now he's also been claiming that it was Tunisha's family that was exerting a lot of pressure that the two of them shouldn't be together. But again, those who knew her closely, those who say that it is hard to believe that, it could be a depressive state, because she wasn't exhibiting that in any which way. She was a person who was happy-go-lucky. She was a very positive person. Now, those who are being questioned, Shivangi, also the police is trying to get into the bottom of what the relationship between Shizan and Tunisha were like, and whether the claims of Tunisha's mother is what the truth is. Because those who have worked with Shizan and Tunisha on the sets say that all seemed well on the face of it. They didn't really seem that there was a lot of trouble happening within.
नेचर की लड़की मैंने हमारे साथ काम किया तो लगता नहीं था कि ये ऐसा सोच सकती है और ऐसा करेगी।
सर कुछ ऐसे पल आप हमारे साथ साझा करना चाहेंगे?
पल क्या, हमने हमारे साथ काम किया, बहुत अच्छी तरीके से रहे, बहुत अच्छा उम्दा काम किया उसने, एक्टिंग की, अच्छी एक्टिंग की, और बहुत ही सैड, वेरी सैड, बहुत दुख की बात है। प्लीज
सर, परिवार वालों से एक आखिरी सवाल, बोला कोई बातचीत हुई थी उनकी माँ से? कोई बात
नहीं, उनकी माँ से मिल के आया। अभी इनकी माँ की जो हालत है ऐसी है, क्या बात करेंगे उनसे? तसल्ली दे सकते हैं उनको, हौसला दे सकते हैं उनको।
सर क्या कुछ संदेश देना चाहिए और भी युवा?
नहीं, तो बस ये हुआ कि अपना बस सोचे, अपना ख्याल रखें, सोचे, ये सब ऐसा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं इतनी यंग उम्र में, इतनी यंग आयु में। और तो हमारी जो पिक्चर में शूटिंग की, उसकी मम्मी से भी कहा, सबसे मिले हम लोग, बहुत दुख की बात है। और क्या कहे, हम लोग कुछ एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकते, कुछ बयान नहीं कर सकते।
ठीक है सर, इंसाफ मिलना चाहिए परिवार को। परिवार जो
वो तो सब बाद में हाथ में, सब दूसरों के हाथ में। हम लोग तो सिर्फ एक बच्ची के बारे में सोच रहे कि इसने ऐसा किया। बस
थैंक यू सर। भाई तुम्हारा बूम का बूम पकड़ो, कौन है?
Those are the reactions that are coming in from the ground as colleagues of Tunisha who are attending her last rites and a part of her final journey. Director Abbas Mastan, who have also worked with Tunisha. Remember, she was a part of 3 Bollywood films that she had done as an actor. And she had played the younger version of Katrina Kaif in 2 of these films. She had also done a lot of TV projects as a child artist. And 20 years of age when she was shooting for this show with Shizan, where she was in a relationship with him. There was an age gap between the two of about 8 years. And Shizan had broken up with Tunisha just 15 days before she actually took her life. But what is also most in focus is that last lunch that she had with Shizan. 15 minutes after that lunch, she committed suicide. The police trying to get to the bottom of what transpired in those 15 minutes, what really was discussed between the two. Was Tunisha actually under a lot of stress because of Shizan? Was Shizan misguiding her? Charge of abetment to suicide is what has been pressed against him by Tunisha's family. Remember, Shizan's family, on the other hand, has refused to issue any statement as he is being questioned. But you see that ambulance that is now making its way for the cremation, as that ambulance also has the mortal remains of Tunisha, where she will be cremated. Those who have been close to her remember her as a person who was happy-go-lucky, who had a lot of talent. She was very promising, and it is a very, very emotional, grieving time for the family as they're still coming to terms with the fact that their daughter is actually gone. This is exactly what those who worked with her are also saying, as the TV industry stands in shock. But remember, those who are close to her say that it is hard to believe that she was actually under depression because she came across as a very happy person. Who were those who were very close to Tanisha, who she may have confided in with regards to the relationship she had with Shizan? Because the mother has been claiming all along that Shizan is wholly and solely responsible for this tragic end to her daughter, for the daughter having taken her life. She was all of 20 years of age, and it is extremely disheartening to know that a bright, talented young girl like Tanisha decided to end her life like that when she had so much going for her, when she had such a promising future ahead. All was going well for her career-wise at an age where many can only imagine that they'll try and make as much money or, try and get as many projects. She was certainly quite an example for many of her peers who was doing exceedingly well in the TV industry, and those who worked with her also speak so well of her, of how talented she was, how professional she was, how promising she was, and how it was going well for her. Again, those of her colleagues, her well-wishers, her family standing there right now, still finding it hard to believe that she's gone and she decided to take such a drastic step. But remember, Shizan is being questioned. Shizan is putting out various versions and is varying statements. That is certainly a point of focus for the police as the investigation continues. Many of Tanisha's friends and those who knew Tanisha and Shizan both as a couple are also being called by the Walev police, where they are being asked of details of what the two shared, whether it was only Tanisha who was more bent towards Shizan and Shizan was never interested from the word go, or it was Shizan who was painting a very different picture otherwise, but it was full of lies, as Tanisha's mother claims that he was actually dating many other girls and he was never serious about Tanisha. The mother has gone on to say that the strictest of punishment must be given to Shizan, but this is certainly a point of investigation that continues, and the police is questioning all those who have known her and known them very closely. On that note, it's time for us to slip into a very short commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. Stay with us.
एक दिन मैं सोते सोते गिर गया और मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ। पता है किसने किया? घोस्ट ने। वो हर बार मुझे बचा लेता है। मिलोगे?
अरे कोई घोस्ट नहीं, रोनी के पापा ही हैं जो उसे सेफ रखते हैं, जैसे हैवेल्स लाइफ शील्ड वायर्स जो दिखते नहीं पर घर को सेफ रखते हैं, ना आग पकड़े न जहरीली गैस छोड़े, वायर्स दैट डोंट कैच फायर।
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए।
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Ladies and gentlemen, You expected the puzzle. But for one person, this is not a game.
Explain it to us, detective.
Everyone is in danger.
All right, when's the murder mystery start?
We've cut across to these images on our screens right now. This, remember, is Tunisha's final journey that will begin very, very shortly. Right now, the mortal remains are being taken to the crematorium, is what you see on your screens. We'll also get in our colleague Sandeep, who has been tracking that story closely, even as the police, remember, right now is in the middle of the investigation of the case. But this now is the final journey of actor Tunisha Sharma, who allegedly committed suicide. Her family and friends bidding her the final goodbye.
So the final rites are in fact underway out here at the Meera Road crematorium ground, and in fact here, you know, massive media crowd have also gathered, and in fact the family members are all out here. All of them are out here. The co-workers, the co-stars, everyone is out here, in fact, and to cover this very sad state of the family, wherein the funeral are in fact underway here, and we are giving you the live visuals from the cremation, from the cremation ground, and the tough time for the family members. A very tough time. A very tough time for the family members. Here we have been, you see, the family members are here. It is a very difficult time for any mother, in fact. Kanti bhai, frame up karo. Any mother, I'll show you visuals of the mother out there. She's in huge pain, and in fact she cannot. She even in fact cannot bear the pain. She cannot bear the pain of losing her daughter. In fact, a very tough time for the mother. As you can see in the visuals there, it is a very tough time for the parents. A very tough time. The mother is in huge, deep pain, and the final rites are in fact happening, and a last goodbye to Tunisha Sharma, an actor who did everything on her own, a young age actor who did everything on her own, who got her career, who got achievements at a very young age, but in fact lost her life after committing suicide. These are my VJ Kanti Parmar giving you the live visuals from the crematorium ground, wherein a final goodbye to the multi-talented actor Tunisha Sharma, who was just growing up. She was just 20 years of old. Such a deep pain that it is very hard, you know.
So we are looking at these live images right now on our screens. This is coming in from the Meera Road crematorium. We'll also get in our colleague Suesha, who has more insight into what really is happening. And do remember, it's a case right now that is under the investigation of the police. And the co-actor Shizan Khan already is in the custody of the cops. There are reports that the actor broke up with Shizan just 15 days before her death. But these are the last rites being performed for the actor. Tunisha, we see her uncle, her family. The mother had in fact spoken to Republic just yesterday, breaking her silence. And she did reiterate how right now she is devastated and she's only and only looking for justice for her daughter. Let's see if we can take it across to Suesha, also who's joining us on the broadcast. You know, Suesha, an extremely heartbreaking moment there for the family as you look at these images being broadcasted here live on Republic. But I think the family would be waiting for a closure in the case, and that can come only if there is justice for the late actor.
Oh yes, absolutely, Deepthi. And to look at it, even those who did not know her, a bright young girl who had everything going right for her decided to end her life at the age of 20. She had a very promising career ahead, a child artist who had been working from the young age of her early teens. She had been a part of some prestigious TV projects, 3 films that she had been a part of, and not something that many of her age can even think of, you know, doing or getting there. She was there and she had a lot going for her. Why is it that she decided to end her life? And that is the question that is on everyone's mind right now. Even those who know her find it hard to believe in the whole depression theory, because they say she was a happy-go-lucky girl. She was out there. She was extremely talented. She was very active on social media, and she was really someone who looked forth to a good career. So it's not like you know, she was in a state of mind where one can't even imagine that she ended her life like this. Now, as the family claims that it is that one relationship in her life that led her to such a tragic end for her. Her relationship with Shizan, who was her co-actor, who was working on that show with her, who was allegedly in a relationship with her, and that is something that has been admitted by Shizan. But he says that he had broken up with her just 15 days before she had actually ended her life. Now, earlier statements were coming in from our sources where he said that there was an age gap between the two of them, their religions were different, and which is why he decided to break up with her. But Tunisha's family says that he had always misguided her. He was in a relationship with other girls also, he was dating other girls, but the family absolutely out of control, and understandably so, because I think they're still finding it hard to come to terms with the fact that Tunisha has gone. And they had not really imagined that, or couldn't imagine that in their wildest dreams, because Tunisha was someone who was very, very promising. She was someone who was extremely talented. She was good at her work. She had a good equation with those people she worked with. Now remember, Deepthi, that we are talking at a time when several of her friends are being called to the Wali police station. They are being questioned, most importantly on the relationship aspect. What is it that she had shared with Shizan? Is it that she had shared that she was in a tortured relationship like what her mother has claimed? And if that can be validated by others too in her life. But very disheartening to see what is happening right now. Tunisha no more. Tunisha is gone. She was only 20 years of age. This is her final journey. Her mortal remains being cremated, and those who know her find it so difficult to believe that she is gone. And her mother saying that it was only and only Shizan who was responsible. She says that the strictest of punishment must be given to him. But remember, the interrogation that is continuing, and Shizan's family has refused to put out any statement at this point, but Shizan's wearing statements, that is certainly the point of focus, because I also gathered from my sources that when he was arrested soon after that, he said that he should be allowed to go because his credibility, his work is getting affected, and there was a sense of the fact that he was insensitive to that whole fact that Tunisha is gone. It is only now and yesterday, to be specific, where he broke down in front of a female cop, and he said that he wanted to attend her last rites, and he is now showing remorse. He is now sensitive towards the fact that Tunisha is no more, but that is far from what it was. We see a lot of TV actors, if I'm not mistaken, that's Avni, a lot of TV actors who knew Tunisha very closely, and many of them who had worked with her on common projects and knew her otherwise. Tunisha's mother, it is very, very difficult for her to actually accept that Tunisha is no more. She's gone at a young age of 20. Someone who was a good daughter, someone who had a promising career ahead, a promising future ahead, and a lot of plans that the family had for Tunisha. All of that now stands no more because she is no more. She decided to end her life. And I say that even those who have not known her, but just to know that she took such a drastic step. What prompted her to take such a drastic step? If it was a troubled relationship, did she decide to get out of it? As Shizan said, that he broke up with her 15 days before she actually ended her life. But most importantly, what happened on the last day? What happened in those 15 minutes? Because last was Shizan, who she was with, Shizan, who she was having lunch with. 15 minutes after that, she took her life in her makeup room. She hung herself, and the crew members came rushing to find her body there where she had gone. And Shizan was the person who she had met right in the end. What transpired in those 15 minutes, what was discussed between the two, the family is pushing for the fact that there must be a detailed investigation. Their daughter must get justice. Several filmmakers we've seen who've come to pay their last rites to Tunisha. They had worked with her as a child artist, certainly someone who had a lot going for her. And this one relationship, as the family claims, spoilt it all. Why is it that their daughter, who they had so many dreams for, decided to end her life? What had happened between Shizan and Tunisha? And what is it that Shizan is saying? Remember, their mobile phones that are also being checked by the forensics team, of breaking down the chats, breaking down the call logs, of really understanding what was happening between the two in those 15 days when they had broken up. What was happening before that when they had not broken up, but probably Shizan was pushing for it. So a lot of these questions that need to be looked into, but tragic that Tunisha is no more at a young age of 20, when she still had so much to achieve, still had so much going for her, and so much that she had to look forward to. She decided to end her life. She committed suicide, and abetment to suicide is the charge that has been pressed by Tunisha's family against Shizan. But those are details that are now being investigated by the cops, as they're calling more and more friends and family of Tunisha. Who were those people who can validate the claims of Tunisha's mother? Who were her friends who she may have confided in about a torturous relationship that she may have had with Shizan, and she wasn't happy, or the fact that he was probably misguiding her, are the claims that Tunisha's mother has been making. But are there those other friends who she had confided in of the same? So these are details that are now being looked into, but very unfortunate of the pictures on our screens right now of the last and final journey of Tunisha's mortal remains being cremated, and absolutely devastated state that the family is right now in, because they find it hard to believe that she's gone. Was she really depressed? Was her state of mind not okay? Who was aware of it? Was somebody really talking to her, or talking to her out of what she was feeling? So all these things are now being looked into very, very closely, as her mortal remains are being cremated in Mira Road. The Valiv police is still questioning Shizan and his family. Shizan's family is also attending her last rites, is what we know. So the family is very much there. We remember, Deepthi, how Shizan's sister yesterday was called to the police station. She was questioned, and what seemed like that her mobile phone was also taken by the police. Later on, the family releasing a statement that they are not willing to talk at this point because they're still coming to terms with what has really happened, and they may speak to the media a little later. But Shizan's family, we hear, is present for the last rites of Tunisha. They are here at this crematorium. So those are friends and family. Obviously very difficult for them to talk right now, but certainly to whosoever can throw light on what had happened. What led to such a tragic end for Tunisha? Why is it that she felt so forced to take her own life? Many of her friends who are saying that it takes a lot of courage to end one's life. Not easy for a 20-year-old to just actually take a step so drastic when she had going so much in her favor. But what was this relationship all about? Because we've also spoken with co-actors who were on the sets with both of them, who were talking to them, who were working with them, but they say that we don't know what was happening inside. We don't know what was being discussed between the two, because at the outset, they looked happy, they looked like all was well. Shizan came across as a good person, but what was being discussed between the two is very, very important. And several of those crew members, those assistant directors, the production people on the show who have spoken about their working relationship, who have spoken about how they were on the sets every day. But remember, at 3 p.m. on that dreaded Saturday, when she decided to end her life at 3:15 p.m., at 3 p.m. she was in Shizan's makeup room. Shizan has claimed that he tried to offer her food. They were having lunch together. He tried to offer her food. She was not in the right state of mind. She refused to have that food. 15 minutes later, she committed suicide. When the crew came to look for her, she had hung herself. And this has left the family in a state of shock. Many of those TV actors and who've done bit roles in films as well, Deepthi, that I see on the screen right now, obviously a part of the same industry, and even if they've not worked with each other, they bump into each other at some point while working on some ad or while working on some TV show or a film, or even otherwise during award shows. So she obviously shared very good relations with her colleagues and her film directors, her TV directors, who saw her as a very, very promising talent, who saw her as a budding actor, who had a lot going for her. She obviously had bigger dreams in the industry to make it to projects, to make it to several other platforms, and that is exactly what her parents had imagined for her. But the fact is that she's gone at this young age of 20, and what really led to such a tragic end? What led to her taking her own life? These are questions that are on everyone's minds right now, as they are in a state of grief, still coming to terms with the fact that Tunisha is no more. Tunisha is gone at the young age of 20. A teen, a child, so promising, so talented, had everything going well for her, had the looks to break into the industry at that young age, was making her way to a more prosperous career. But one relationship, as her family claims, spoiled it all. Her relationship with Shizan, that completely broke and shattered her. That is exactly the claim that has been coming in from the family, from Tunisha's mother all along, where she says that the strictest of punishment must be given to Shizan. But of course, it is the Waliv police that is investigating the matter, that is speaking to those who were close to Shizan, who were close to Tunisha, who were probably in the know-how of the relationship between the two of them, or if there was a sense of bitterness. What was the reason for that bitterness? Was Shizan really misguiding her? As the mother claims that he was in a relationship with many other girls. There's a secret girlfriend aspect that the Wali police station is also looking into, which means that the claims that the mother has been making, are there others who can validate those claims? Build a stronger case against Shizan as the family, the friends of Tunisha seek justice. Say that whosoever is responsible to lead her to this, that she ended her life, must be punished. But as we talk, Shizan's family is in attendance right now at the crematorium. They are a part of a final journey. Tunisha's last rites are being conducted in that crematorium in Mira Road. And many of her family members were still in a state of shock. They are still finding it hard to believe that Tunisha is gone. They still are finding it difficult to understand that she decided to end her life. Why? What led her to this? So, very unfortunate. We stay with those pictures. We see what is happening at that crematorium. The pain of losing Tunisha is what they are dealing with, which they find very, very difficult to deal with right now. But the fact is that she's gone, and we're of course going to update our viewers and track the investigation very, very closely. What the police eventually finds, because Shizan is still being questioned, he is still in police custody. What is it that Shizan has to share of the relationship, of what was being discussed between the two, of what was happening between the two? Because the police says that he's been making varying statements, he's been confusing them. He's not been cooperating. That is what the police is saying. But Shizan's family claims otherwise, that he has been cooperating with the cops as a part of this investigation. Many of her friends, two to be precise, actor Partsuchi as well, who was called to the police station this morning, and he is being questioned. So those who knew Tunisha closely, those who knew of details of the relationship that the two shared, of what exactly was happening between the two of them, or what happened on that dreaded Saturday. What happened at 3 p.m. when both of them were in that makeup room, they were having lunch. She was not in the right state of mind probably, and Shizan was aware of that, because he said that he tried to offer her food but she did not take it. But family members, Deepthi, we see, are very, very pained, upset, depressed, in a state of shock, absolutely not being able to come to terms with the fact that Tunisha is gone. At this young age of 20, she's no more. She probably had so much more to do. She had the looks, she had the talent, she had what it takes to make it in the industry. She was a
ना रही हो तो देखिए बार बार एक से दूसरी जगह उन्हें शिफ्ट किया जा रहा है ताकि जो वनीता शर्मा हैं उनको किसी तरह से होश में लाया जा सके, क्योंकि एक तरफ तस्वीर है उनकी बेटी के अंतिम संस्कार की, एक तरफ उनकी बेटी का अंतिम संस्कार हो रहा है तुनिशा शर्मा का, तो दूसरी तरफ है वनीता शर्मा जो इस वक्त अपने होश में नहीं हैं, वो होश खो बैठी हैं, वो कुछ भी कहने की स्थिति में नहीं हैं। उन्हें किसी भी तरीके से होश में लाना है, इस कोशिश में परिवार पूरा जुटा हुआ है कि तुनिशा शर्मा को वो अंतिम विदाई दे सके, लेकिन वो नहीं होश में आ पा रही हैं। देखिए बार बार वो बिखर रही हैं, बार बार वो बिखर रही हैं। उन्हें किसी तरह से पानी पिलाया जा रहा है और हवा की जा रही है।
एक मिनट
तो तुनिशा शर्मा की मां वनीता शर्मा जो आप इन तस्वीरों में देख पा रहे हैं वो होश में नहीं है। वो इस वक्त देखिए आप चेयर पे बैठी ज़रूर हैं लेकिन वो अपने होश खो चुके हैं। लगातार उनके देखिए पैर रब किए जा रहे हैं कि किसी भी तरीके से उन्हें होश में तो लाया जा सके। यहाँ पर जो हलचल मची हुई है, एक तरफ तुनिशा शर्मा को उनका अंतिम संस्कार किया जा रहा है, तमाम जो प्रक्रियाएं हैं वो पूरी करते हुए, क्योंकि उनके तमाम जो परिजन हैं एक तरफ मौजूद है तो दूसरी तरफ तुनिशा शर्मा की माँ वनीता शर्मा को संभालने के लिए भी उनका परिवार मौजूद है। वनीता शर्मा के साथ उनका परिवार मौजूद है और देखिए उनके पैर रब किए जा रहे हैं और उन्हें हवा दी जा रही है, उन्हें पानी पिलाया जा रहा है कि किसी भी तरीके से वो अपनी बेटी के लिए एक बार जाग जाए। लेकिन अब वो लग नहीं रहा है कि वो अब इस वक्त तो जागने वाली हैं। इस वक्त वो अपना होश खो चुकी हैं उन्होंने, क्योंकि जिस तरह से उन्होंने अपनी बेटी को घर से भेजा था, जिस तरह से बाय बोला था, बेटी ने अपनी माँ को बाय बोला था, वो उस तरह से नहीं अब देख पा रही हैं। 24 दिसंबर को वो जब आखिरी बार क्योंकि देख पाई थी, 24 दिसंबर को वो आखिरी बार देख पाई थी, लेकिन आज 27 दिसंबर को वो किस तरह से देख रही हैं, किस तरह से वो अपनी बेटी को देख रही हैं, ये उन्होंने कल्पना भी नहीं की होगी, ये उन्होंने सपने में भी नहीं सोचा होगा। वो क्योंकि अपनी बेटी के साथ यहाँ मुंबई में अकेले रहती थी और बेटी की देखरेख करती थी, दोनों एक दूसरे का सहारा थे। उनकी बेटी तुनिशा शर्मा और वनीता शर्मा ही एक दूसरे का सहारा थे। तो ऐसे में एक सहारा छिन गया है और देखिए ये बेहद ही भावुक पल हैं, क्योंकि आप जब देख पाते हैं कि एक माँ इस तरीके से टूट चुकी है, वो अपनी बेटी को खो चुकी है, वो माँ कुछ कहने की स्थिति में नहीं है। सामने एक तरफ अंतिम संस्कार किया जा रहा है तो दूसरी तरफ सामने ही माँ जो अपने होश खो चुकी है। ये बेहद ही भावुक कर देने वाले पल है, सभी के लिए भावुक कर देने वाले पल है, क्योंकि हर कोई कल्पना करने लगता है कि एक माँ अपने बच्चे को कितना चाहती है, कलेजे से लगा कर रखती है वो माँ, और तमाम जो सपने होते हैं वो सजा कर रखती है। ख़ास तौर पर माँ अपनी बेटियों के लिए किस तरह के सपने सजा कर रखती है कि किस तरह से विदा करेगी, एक दुल्हन के रूप में विदा करने के सपना होता है एक माँ का। तमाम सपने सजोती है जब से बेटी एक पैदा होती है, लेकिन ज़रा भी अंदाज़ा नहीं होगा वनीता शर्मा को कि तुनिशा 24 दिसंबर वो तारीख आखिरी रह जाएगी जब उन्होंने अपनी बेटी का हंसता हुआ जीवंत चेहरा देखा था। 24 दिसंबर को वो आखिरी तारीख रह जाएगी। ऐसा कभी नहीं सोचा होगा इस माँ ने। और देखिए हर कोई इस तस्वीर को देख करके कलेजा हर किसी का पसीज जाए कि किस हालत में पहुंच चुकी हैं वनीता शर्मा, तुनिशा शर्मा की माँ। और दूसरी तरफ ये वैदिक मंत्रोच्चारण के साथ ये जो प्रक्रिया है वो पूरी की जा रही है। अभिषेक से कहूँगी दूसरी तरफ की भी तस्वीर दिखाइए, क्योंकि ये तस्वीर बेहद ही भावुक कर देने वाली है और दूसरी तरफ भी वो भावुक कर देने वाला क्षण है जब तुनिशा शर्मा को अंतिम विदाई देते हुए उनके देखिए अब अंतिम संस्कार की ये प्रक्रिया आप देख पा रहे हैं। अंतिम संस्कार की ये प्रक्रिया शुरू हो चुकी है। उन्हें अब देखिए मुखाग्नि दी जाएगी कुछ ही देर में। और देखिए किस तरह से बिलख रहे हैं उनकी बहन, किस तरह से बिलख रही है उनकी बहन, किस तरह से रो रही हैं। तो दूसरी तरफ हमने आपको दिखाया था कि उनकी माँ है जो कुछ भी कहने की स्थिति में नहीं है और मुखाग्नि दे दी गई है। देखिए तुनिशा शर्मा को मुखाग्नि दी जा रही है।
Yes, we are getting you those pictures from that crematorium in Mira Road where the final rites of Tunisha are being performed, and a very, very difficult moment for the family and all those who've known Tunisha to actually accept that she is no more. She took her life at the young age of 20, and what led her to take such a drastic step is what the family and friends are still not being able to come to terms with. That's Tunisha's final journey, her final rites, as her mortal remains are being cremated at that crematorium in Mira Road. Remember, many of those who've known Tunisha closely, who've known Tunisha and Shizan closely, are now being questioned by the Wali police. That includes actor Parth Zucchi, who has worked both with Tunisha and Shizan. Also to mention that Shizan's family is also present at this crematorium. They are a part of the last rites of Tunisia. This at a time when Shizan's family has refused to put out any statement. We saw how Shizan's sister was at the Wali police station yesterday, where the family is wanting to meet with Shizan, but that did not happen. Pictures also suggested how her phone was taken by the police. So remember that the mobile phones of both Tunisia and Shizan are being checked by the forensics team to get a know-how into what their relationship was, what their WhatsApp chats were about, what was being discussed between the two, all these details that the police is looking into, as Tunisia's family has outrightly blamed Shizan for the tragic end to their daughter's life, who they had big dreams for, who they believed had so much more to achieve, had so much more to see, had so much more to succeed, had a long way to go. But the very fact that she decided to end her life at this young age, when she was a daughter who had been moving in the right stride, she was a daughter who had been working from a young age, had been striking that balance between her studies and her work. They had big dreams for her. She was a very, very promising talent, and that is exactly what the feedback that came from the directors that Tunisia had worked with. She, as a child artist, had worked on several TV shows and 3 Bollywood films where she had played the younger version of Katrina Kaif in 2 of those films. So really big projects that she backed at her age, when many of her peers would probably be studying. She was a hard-working actor, a growing teenager, a young girl of 20 who was making a career for herself, who was chalking out a bright future for herself. Her social media also suggested to some very talented videos that she would keep putting in for her followers, for her viewers, time and again. A career that she saw for herself, of how she wanted to grow, of what she wanted to offer to her followers. And that exactly is the path that Tunisia had taken. Then what went wrong? Was it this relationship, as the family claims, is what spoiled everything for Tunisia? That at a young age of 20, she decided to take her own life. Her friends who have spoken to Republic say that it takes a lot of courage to actually come to that decision and end your life. But the very fact that Tunisia was that, because as some question the depression theory of the very fact that if she was not in the right state of mind, of a disbalanced mental state that she could have been suffering from, if she had received help for the same. But they say that they could never feel it, because she was a happy-go-lucky girl. She was someone who was very positive. She was extremely hardworking, very diligent, very committed, very dedicated to her work. She reported to the sets on time. She played all her roles to the T. So it was a very pleasant experience to work with her. Also, some who have commented on what sort of a co-actor Shizan had been to her. So as they say that while they were not privy of the inside details, but all was well on the face of it, where Tunisia and Shizan were working with each other on that show. But she was also in a relationship with him. There was an age gap between the two. She was all of 20 years of age. He was 28. The family had also questioned the age gap. Remember, earlier on, when the police was questioning Shizan, sources revealed that he had been claiming that he decided to break up with Tunisia just 15 days before she actually took her life, because there was an age gap between the two. There were differences, or a difference, I would say, in their religions. So which is why he decided to break up with her on this pretext. But I beg your pardon, he had also claimed later that it was Tunisia's family that was putting a lot of pressure on their daughter, on them as a couple, to break up, because they thought that this relationship was not right for her, and which is exactly why he had broken up with her. So that is something that he has been pushing lately. Also, how initially when the police had arrested him right after Tunisia's suicide, he had said that he needs to go, and he was not cooperating with the investigation because he said that if he is in police custody, that was affecting his work, that was affecting his credibility, and he must be allowed to go. And that displayed how insensitive he was towards Tanisha's death at that time. But yesterday news also came in of how he broke down in front of a female cop, and he said that he wanted to attend Tanisha's last rites, which remember, his family is very much in attendance. Shizan's family is here at this point as they're grieving the death of Tanisha, but they're also being questioned by the cops to what really were the inside details that they knew of when it came to Tanisha and Shizan's relationship. Tanisha's loved ones, Tanisha's family are finding it so hard to come to terms with the fact that she's gone, are finding it still so difficult to believe that she's no more, still question in their minds as to what prompted her to take such a drastic step. If something was bothering her, she could have spoken to them instead of actually going ahead to take a step this big. But these are the last rites of Tanisha. This is the end of Tanisha that they had never imagined they would see when she was all of 20. A promising future that they thought she had, a very, very bright career they thought she had. So much more that she had to see is what they believed, and all their dreams now shattered, came crushing down with the death of Tanisha, with knowing that she committed suicide, with knowing that she hung herself, with knowing that they could have probably helped her or they could have spoken her out of it. But it just happened. And Shizan Khan is in custody. He is being questioned. They are trying to get all the details of what happened on that dreaded Saturday when she decided to commit suicide, because she had left home as normal as it was for that Naigaon set where she was shooting for her show. The family says that like she would report to the sets, she did. She reached there, but then something changed after that. What changed after that? Because she was in Shizan's makeup room. She was speaking with Shizan. It was lunchtime, 3 p.m. when Shizan and Tanisha were in that makeup room. Something transpired in those 15 minutes that Shizan left and she decided to end her life. She hung herself in that makeup room, only for the crew to come later to call her for her shot, to find that she had hung herself. She was no more, her life had ended. And this moment that has left the family in an utter state of shock. Even now they find it hard to believe that it is Tanisha whose mortal remains they are cremating. Tanisha is no more in this world. Tanisha had so much more to see, but it has ended for her.
So the mother of Tanisha Sharma, in fact, is here, and who fainted. She cannot see. She cannot see her her daughter Tanisha Sharma going like this, and in fact, the family members are in fact trying to give her some space, and in fact, we've been showing you the visuals, and the final rites is in fact underway out here, and it is a very tough time for the family. Remember giving birth to a child and losing her like this, and in fact back-to-back update on India's topmost and a shocking story, Tanisha suicide case. We'll be right back after the break.
your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Whenever I had ice cream or cold water, I would experience a sharp shooting sensation. So I just kept ignoring it. Even my hot chai was giving me the same amount of discomfort. My dentist recommended Sensodyne. So now I can be completely carefree and sip my hot cup of tea. It really works.
The Rahul Gandhi Ram comparison. Now, once again, Salman Khurshid has repeated the Ram comment, viewers. That is right. He has repeated that comment once again, where he has compared the party leader, Rahul Gandhi, to Lord Ram. So this is the comment. He has made it once again, viewers. Let's play out that comment where Salman Khurshid is once again saying and comparing Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram.
भूमि अगर चीन ने हड़प ली है तो उसका जवाब दो। ये देश जवाब चाहता है। और जब वो ये कहते हैं कि हमारी धरती हड़प ली तो वो कहते हैं आप अपमान सैनिकों का कर रहे हैं। जब मैं किसी की तारीफ करता हूँ, भगवान राम की तारीफ करता हूँ, तो कहते हैं अपमान आप भगवान राम का कर रहे हैं। भगवान राम का अपमान वो बहस करके करते हैं। भगवान राम को विवादित ना करें। भगवान राम सबके हैं। हमारे तो शायरों ने भी कहा है, उर्दू शायर ने भी ये कहा है, भगवान राम इमाम हिंद हैं, इमाम हिंद हैं। तो उनको बुरा कहिए ना, मुझको बुरा कहने से पहले उनको बुरा कहिए कि इमाम हिंद क्यों कह दिया भगवान राम को। इमाम हिंद क्या होता है? क्या होता है इमाम हिंद? अब नागपुर से पूछ कर हम अपनी शब्दावली नहीं बदलेंगे। नागपुर से पूछ कर हम अपनी कार्रवाई नहीं बदलेंगे। नागपुर इस देश का संचालन नहीं कर सकता। नागपुर जो करना चाहता है वो अपनी सीमा में करे, लेकिन वो इस देश का संचालन हमसे कहकर ना कराए कि आप देश को इस तरह से संचालित होने दें। भूमि अगर चीन ने हड़प ली है तो उसका जवाब दो। ये देश जवाब चाहता है। और जब वो ये कहते हैं कि हमारी धरती हड़प ली तो वो कहते हैं आप अपमान सैनिकों का कर रहे हैं। जब मैं किसी की तारीफ करता हूँ, भगवान राम की तारीफ करता हूँ, तो कहते हैं अपमान आप भगवान राम का कर रहे हैं। भगवान राम का अपमान वो बहस करके करते हैं। भगवान राम को विवादित ना करें। भगवान राम सबके हैं। हमारे तो शायरों ने भी कहा है, उर्दू शायर ने भी ये कहा है, भगवान राम इमाम हिंद हैं, इमाम हिंद हैं। तो उनको बुरा कहिए ना, मुझको बुरा कहने से पहले उनको बुरा कहिए कि इमाम हिंद क्यों कह दिया भगवान राम को। इमाम हिंद क्या होता है? क्या होता है इमाम हिंद? अब नागपुर से पूछ कर हम अपनी शब्दावली नहीं बदलेंगे। नागपुर से पूछ कर हम अपनी कार्रवाई नहीं बदलेंगे। नागपुर इस देश का संचालन नहीं कर सकता। नागपुर जो करना चाहता है वो अपनी सीमा में करे, लेकिन वो इस देश का संचालन हमसे कहकर ना कराए कि आप देश को इस तरह से संचालित।
All right, viewers, much more coming up on the other side. Putin critic found dead in fall from window incident in Odisha. Now the death was reported only days after another Russian died at the same hotel. And BSF Jawan who protested against his daughter's obscene video hacked to death in Gujarat. Jawan's son and wife also sustained injuries. Stay tuned.
सोच रहा हूँ कमेंट्री ट्राई करूँ मैच का आखिरी बॉल तेज तूफानी डिलीवरी एक धमाकेदार शॉट और ये गया छक्का
छक्का नहीं टूटा आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए MY के लेटिक्रीट टाइल एडेसिव फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल न टूटेगा न छूटेगा
For how long will you continue being tensed about the future? Pension can free you from future's tension. With LIC's new Pension Plus, make your own pension plan because this plan creates market-linked wealth for your future. Moreover, this plan comes with guaranteed additions and also offers various options for receiving pension so that you grow young and tension-free. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
ये सामने फ्यूल पंप है वहां से ले लें
जी सर फ्यूल तो पिछले पंप में भी मिल जाता इंडियन ऑयल में ऐसा क्या है
कुछ है स्पेशल खुद ही देख लेना
स्पेशल
अरे इंडियन ऑयल की तो बात ही कुछ और है
जरा देखें फ्यूल तो बराबर डाल रहे हैं ना
अरे यहाँ कंप्लीट ऑटोमेशन है मतलब प्योर और पूरा दोनों ही इन सेंट्रली मॉनिटर्ड मशीन्स की एक-एक रीडिंग का हिसाब है यहाँ पर
वाह सर
याद है ना इंडियन ऑयल की बात ही कुछ और है इंडियन ऑयल पहले इंडियन फिर ऑयल
It is important to keep your HbA1c in the target range of 6.5 to 7% to avoid complications.
With Beto's Diabetes Care program, get online doctor consultation, all your prescribed medicines and a dietitian consultation. Get a free glucometer and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care program. Give a missed call on 740 1100.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharti Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Getting some more updates coming in where remember that there's a fresh controversy which has erupted where linking the ongoing Bharat Jodo Yatra to the epic Ramayana. Congress leader and former Union Minister Salman Khurshid has compared the party leader Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram, and we're getting some more reactions coming in where the BJP has lambasted Khurshid over the Ram comparison. Let's play that out.
Well, Rahul Gandhi was also compared to Bhagwan Ram by the Congress party, which for the longest time denied the existence of Lord Ram. They did everything possible to delay the construction of Ram Mandir. In fact, the same Salman Khurshid stood up in the court along with Kapil Sibal and opposed the matter when it came to construction of Ram Mandir. Now for them to compare Rahul Gandhi, son of a Catholic mother and a Parsi father, to Bhagwan Ram is opportunist, is hurting sentiments of Hindus, and clearly this has been a consistent trait of the Congress party where they have run roughshod over Hindu sentiments for their appeasement politics.
Vadra Congress equates Rahul to Lord Ram. Rahul Gandhi compared to Lord Ram by Congress. Outrage over Lord Ram comparison by Congress. Ornab debates at 9 p.m.
Uncontrolled diabetes can lead to long-term complications and damage your heart, eyes, kidney and nerves if remains untreated.
With Beto's Diabetes Care program, get online doctor consultation, all your prescribed medicines and a dietitian consultation. Get a free glucometer and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care program. Give a missed call on 740 1100.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा-थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
Getting some back-to-back updates right now. Congress is at it again with its Chai Wala jibe, hitting back at Amit Malviya's jibe. Rashid Alvi has fired Chai Wala jibe. Listen in to that reaction.
मैं भी सुबह गया था इंडिया गेट। वही दोनों टूरिस्ट जो उनको मिले थे मालवीय जी को, वो मुझे भी मिले थे। वो एक दुकान पे चाय पी रहे थे। वो चाय बेचने वाला दाढ़ी रखे हुए था, तो मैंने उससे बातचीत की। तो पूछा मैंने कि इस ठंड में यहाँ क्यों तुम चाय बेच रहे हो? तो उसने कहा कि मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि भविष्य में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का प्रधानमंत्री का उम्मीदवार बन जाऊँ।
There's much more coming up on the other side. BSF Jawan who protested against his daughter's obscene video hacked to death in Gujarat. Jawan's son and wife also sustained injuries.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो।
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा-थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
ठीक है भैया, हम उसमें कोई कमेंट करने का जरूरत नहीं है। ऐसा राम को नहीं मानने वालों को राम का कैसा होता है। राम हमारा भगवान है। हम कोई राहुल गांधी के अंदर राम को हम देखने को जब भारत के जनता कोई तैयार नहीं है, हम ही नहीं है, कोई व्यक्ति भी भारत के रहने वाले कोई व्यक्ति भी राहुल गांधी के अंदर राम को देखने वाले नहीं है, ना किसी व्यक्ति के ऊपर देखेंगे आगे भी। राम राम ही है, राम महापुरुष है, हमारे लिए भगवान है।
Tonight, a murder will be committed. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game.
This is truly delightful.
Holy
There has been a murder. For one person, this is not a game. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again.
You must be really great at clues.
I'm very bad at dumb things.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
ये सामने फ्यूल पंप है, वहां से ले लें।
जी सर फ्यूल तो पिछले पंप में भी मिल जाता, इंडियन ऑयल में ऐसा क्या है?
कुछ है स्पेशल, खुद ही देख लेना।
स्पेशल?
अरे इंडियन ऑयल की तो बात ही कुछ और है।
जरा देखिए, फ्यूल तो बराबर डाल रहे हैं ना।
अरे यहाँ कंप्लीट ऑटोमेशन है, मतलब प्योर और पूरा दोनों ही। इन सेंट्रली मॉनिटर्ड मशीन्स की एक एक रीडिंग का हिसाब है यहाँ पर। क्या हुआ?
सर बिल।
हाँ बिल ओके।
वाह सर।
क्या था ना, इंडियन ऑयल की बात ही कुछ और है। इंडियन ऑयल, पहले इंडियन फिर ऑयल।
Top updates now, viewers. Actor Parth called to the police station for questioning in connection with Tunisha Sharma death case, refused to answer the media's questions.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो।
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharti Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Guys, just 1 second. Choosing a car for my mom.
What? Online car shopping? Wow, that's so cool, yeah.
शाहरुख ने बताया.
Wait up. Booking a car service.
From here.
क्यों? तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं. There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
It is important to keep your HbA1c in the target range of 6.5 to 7% to avoid complications.
With Beto's Diabetes Care program, get online doctor consultation, all your prescribed medicines and a dietitian consultation. Get a free glucometer and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Magnificent picture, magnificent sound, magnificent experience. Magnifique. High performance TVs by Aide Japan. Now in India.
Here's top headlines right now. Congress crosses heights of sycophancy, equates Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram. Congress defends Lord Ram comment, says won't toe Nagpur line. BJP lashes out at the Congress, says the party is insulting Hindus with the comparison. Police record statement of Tunisha's co-actors as death probe deepens. BSF Jawan lynched in Anand for trying to protect his daughter's dignity. And Russian lawmaker and his aide found dead in a hotel in Odisha. This happened in just a span of 2 days. Viewers, we continue to be live and breaking up Shivangi Shukla. The big story right now. Congress crosses heights of sycophancy, equates Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram. Well, that's a top story we're tracking for you right now, where there was a fresh controversy which has come out after Bharat Jodo Yatra was in fact gone ahead. It was likened to the epic Ramayana, and Rahul Gandhi was compared to Lord Ram, viewers. Now, addressing the media, Khurshid has made it very clear that Rahul Gandhi is a superhuman. Exactly, that is exactly what Salman Khurshid has said. He has said that Rahul Gandhi is a superhuman. While we are freezing in the cold and wearing jackets, he's going out in t-shirts. Now, Salman Khurshid also added that Rahul Gandhi is like a yogi doing his tapasya with focus, viewers. So this is the top story tracking for you right now, where we can clearly see that Salman Khurshid going ahead making that controversial comment and not even taking it back. In fact, he has repeated his comment once again, where he has likened Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram, viewers. Exactly, he has compared Rahul to Lord Ram, and also the BJP has lambasted that comment. But first, let's go ahead and play out that soundbite of Salman Khurshid, where he called Rahul Gandhi is just like Lord Ram.
वो जिस रफ्तार से चलते हैं, जितने दिन से वो चले हैं, जिस तरह से हमको उनके पीछे पीछे साथ साथ चलना पड़ रहा है, तो हम तो ये मानते हैं कि वो रियली ये मान के चलिए कि वो सुपर ह्यूमन है। हम इतने जैकेट कोट पहने हुए हैं, वो टी शर्ट में निकलते हैं। बताइए, हम ठुठुर रहे हैं ठंड में, वो टी शर्ट पहने निकल रहे हैं। एक योगी जैसी, जब उन्होंने कही दिया मैं तपस्या में हूँ, तो वो तपस्या कर रहे हैं। अब तपस्या के लिए एक योगी कहीं बैठ गया, किसी गुफा में बैठ गया एक योगी की तपस्या के लिए, तो आप इस बात की बात कह रहे हैं कि वो दूसरी गुफा में तो गए नहीं। ऐसा है। आप तो जानते हैं भगवान राम की खड़ाव बहुत दूर तक जाती है, तो कभी कभी खड़ाव लेकर भी चलना पड़ता है। हमेशा भगवान राम नहीं पहुंच पाते हैं, तो खड़ाव लेकर चलना पड़ता है। तो भरत उनकी खड़ाव लेके चलते हैं, तो खड़ाव लेकर हम उत्तर प्रदेश में चले हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश में खड़ाव पहुंच गई है, तो राम जी भी पहुंचेंगे, ये हमारा विश्वास है।
Alright, viewers, you heard that comment where Salman Khurshid is saying that Rahul Gandhi is Lord Ram. He's just like Lord Ram. That's a very, very controversial comment coming in from Salman Khurshid. And once again, he was asked that did he really mean what he said? And this is how Salman Khurshid replied.
चीन ने हड़प ली है, तो उसका जवाब दो। ये दो देश जवाब चाहता है। और जब वो ये कहते हैं कि हमारी धरती हड़प ली, तो वो कहते हैं आप अपमान सैनिकों को कर रहे हैं। जब मैं किसी की तारीफ करता हूँ, भगवान राम की तारीफ करता हूँ, तो कहते हैं अपमान आप भगवान राम का कर रहे हैं। भगवान राम का अपमान वो बहस करके करते हैं। भगवान राम को विवादित ना करें। भगवान राम सबके हैं। हमारे तो शायरों ने भी कहा है, उर्दू शायर ने भी ये कहा है, भगवान राम इमाम हिंद हैं, इमाम हिंद हैं। तो उनको बुरा कहिए ना, मुझको बुरा कहने से पहले उनको बुरा कहिए कि इमाम हिंद क्यों कह दिया भगवान राम को। इमाम हिंद क्या होता है? क्या होता है इमाम हिंद? अब नागपुर से पूछ कर हम अपनी शब्दावली नहीं बदलेंगे, नागपुर से पूछ कर हम अपनी कार्रवाई नहीं बदलेंगे। नागपुर इस देश का संचालन नहीं कर सकता। नागपुर जो करना चाहता है वो अपनी सीमा में करे, लेकिन वो इस देश का संचालन हमसे कहकर ना कराए कि आप देश को इस तरह से संचालित होने दें।
All right, viewers, so we saw that comment where once again Salman Khurshid repeated what he said. Salman Khurshid had repeated the Ram comment there twice in a row. The BJP has lambasted this comment by Salman Khurshid. Let's play out the reactions from the BJP.
Well, Rahul Gandhi was also compared to Bhagwan Ram by the Congress party, which for the longest time denied the existence of Lord Ram. They did everything possible to delay the construction of Ram Mandir. In fact, the same Salman Khurshid stood up in the court along with Kapil Sibal and opposed the matter when it came to construction of Ram Mandir. Now for them to compare Rahul Gandhi, son of a Catholic mother and a Parsi father, to Bhagwan Ram is opportunist, is hurting sentiments of Hindus, and clearly this has been a consistent trait of the Congress party, where they have run roughshod over Hindu sentiments for their appeasement politics.
ठीक है भैया, हम उसमें कोई कमेंट करने का जरूरत नहीं है। राम को नहीं मानने वालों को राम का कैसा होता है? राम हमारा भगवान है। हम कोई राहुल गांधी के अंदर राम को हम देखने को जब भारत के जनता कोई तैयार नहीं है, हम ही नहीं है, कोई व्यक्ति भी, भारत के रहने वाले कोई व्यक्ति भी राहुल गांधी के अंदर राम को देखने वाले नहीं है, ना किसी व्यक्ति के ऊपर देखेंगे आगे भी। राम राम ही है, राम महापुरुष है, हमारे लिए भगवान है।
All right, viewers, so, Congress has compared Rahul Gandhi to Lord Ram, and Salman Khurshid has gone ahead and he's also said one more thing. He has compared him to Lord Ram and also to a superhuman. That is right. Salman Khurshid compared Rahul Gandhi to a superhuman, and his comments come after Rahul Gandhi was seen walking in a single T-shirt in his Bharat Jodo Yatra in the Delhi court. Let's play out that comment once again, where Salman Khurshid has repeated the Ram comment again and again and again.
अगर आप भगवान के मानने वाले हो, अगर आप भगवान को मानने वाले हो तो मेरी बात सुनो। ये शब्द तुलना अगर कहीं इस्तेमाल हुआ है तो मुझे बता दो। भगवान से तुलना ना हो सकती है ना मैं कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन भगवान की राह पे चलने के लिए मैं ज़रूर कह सकता हूँ कि जो भगवान की राह पे चलता है, जो भगवान की राह पे चलता है उसको मैं अप्रिशिएट कर सकता हूँ। मैं हिंदू नहीं हूँ, लेकिन एक मुसलमान शायर ने कहा है कि भगवान राम इमाम हिंद हैं, इसलिए कि मैंने जिस सभ्यता की बात करी, हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई, जैन, बौद्ध सब इकट्ठे भारत बनाते हैं। एक गुलदस्ता है, इसमें एक लाल रंग का फूल है, सफ़ेद रंग का फूल है, पीले रंग का फूल है, केसुआ रंग का फूल है। ये सब भारतवर्ष की कल्पना है। उस कल्पना को हम मजबूत कर सकें, और इसमें अगर कोई तपस्या करके दिखाता है, कोई मेहनत करके दिखाता है और एक अच्छे काम के लिए, तो हम जिसको मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम मानते हैं, तो जो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम से हमने सीखा है, अगर वो हम किसी के आचरण में देखें तो क्या हम उसकी तारीफ नहीं कर सकते? क्या तारीफ सिर्फ एक ही पार्टी कर सकती है? और जब आपने ये कह दिया कि ये पॉलिटिकल नहीं है, ये सामाजिक है, ये स्पिरिचुअल है, ये आध्यात्मिक है, तो फिर कौन कह सकता है कि हमें ये कहने का हक नहीं कि हम इस राह पर चलें, उनके साथ चलें जो इस राह पर चलें।
सर, कांग्रेस ने राहुल गांधी को श्री राम बताया है।
कांग्रेस ने क्या बता दिया है? अगर कांग्रेस के किसी नेता के बता देने से श्री राहुल गांधी जी वह हो सकते हैं जो वो नहीं हैं, तो मैं समझता हूं कि बड़े नहीं बोलना चाहिए, वही बोलना चाहिए जो उचित लगता है। श्री राहुल गांधी जी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा निकाल रहे हैं कि भारत को तोड़ो वाली यात्रा निकाल रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस को लोग छोड़ो यात्रा निकाल रहे हैं, ये पता नहीं है, लेकिन इस प्रकार के बयान जो लोगों की भावनाओं को आहत करने वाले हैं, किसी भी कांग्रेसी नेता को शोभा नहीं देता है। उनको अगर बयान देना भी है तो कांग्रेस में बहुत सारे नेता हुए हैं, किसी से तुलना कर दें।
बिल्कुल, ये थे हमारे साथ केशव प्रसाद मौर्य जी, रिपब्लिक भारत के लिए लोमस झा।
देखिए, राम के अवतार हैं तो राम की सेना भी तो उनके साथ में थी। ये सेना क्यों नहीं कपड़े उतार के घूमती? इनको भी उनकी तरह कपड़े नहीं उतार के घूमना चाहिए। बल्कि मुझे लगता है राहुल गांधी जी को अपनी सेना को भी बताना चाहिए वो क्या लेते हैं, ऐसा क्यों इतना कपड़ा खराब करवा रहे हैं इन कांग्रेसियों का। ये भी ऐसे ही घूमे जैसे वो राहुल गांधी जी घूम रहे हैं। इसका मतलब कांग्रेस को आदत पड़ी है, प्रसाद वो खुद लेते हैं, दूसरों को प्रसाद बांटते नहीं है, खुद ही शोषण करते हैं, खुद ही अपना प्रॉपर्टी हत्याने का काम करते हैं। तो भ्रष्टाचार जो है ना वो नीचे तक इनके जो गया हुआ पूरा नहीं गया हुआ, इसलिए इनको भी नंगा घूमना चाहिए सभी कांग्रेसियों को, जैसे राम की सेना घूमती थी।
राहुल गांधी की तुलना जैसे कैसे राम से की गई उसको आपके
दुखद है, बहुत ही दुखद है। भगवान राम से, मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री राम से तुलना करना बहुत ही दुखद है। और कांग्रेस पार्टी, उनके नेताओं ने तो हमेशा उनके आचरण के खिलाफ काम किया है।
कुर्सी जी, नर की तुलना नारायण से करना ये कोई भी अच्छा नहीं मानेगा, कोई भी उचित नहीं मानेगा। चाटुकारिता की पराकाष्ठा है, लेकिन इस चाटुकारिता से आप दूसरों को आहत कर रहे हैं। कहां 10 जनपद का रहने वाले राहुल जी और कहां अपने पिता के आदेश पर 14 वर्ष तक वन वन घूमने वाले वनवासी राम, जो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम राम हो गए वन में जाने के बाद से।
देखिए, कांग्रेस और नेहरू परिवार के चमचे अभी राम के चरित्र को जानते ही नहीं है। दिक्कत तो यही, हम तो पहले से कहते हैं कि केवल राजनीतिक लाभ लेने के लिए राम का नाम ले लेते हैं। ये वही कांग्रेस है जिसने राम मंदिर बनने का विरोध किया। ये वही कांग्रेस है और वही नेहरू परिवार है, सोनिया गांधी और राहुल गांधी है, जिन्होंने राम सेतु तोड़ने का षड्यंत्र किया। अब सलमान खुर्शीद जैसा व्यक्ति, उनके मुंह से राम का नाम लेना भी जरूरत नहीं है उसकी, और राम का राहुल से उसकी तुलना करना, मुझे शर्म आती है। ये कांग्रेस की मानसिकता और हिंदू विरोधी मानसिकता का परिचायक है। सलमान खुर्शीद जी ने कहीं ना कहीं हिंदू धर्म का और राम का अपमान किया है। उन्होंने अपना एजेंडा फिक्स करने की कोशिश की है। और यदि राहुल गांधी और सोनिया गांधी राम का सम्मान करते हैं, कांग्रेस सम्मान करती है, तो सलमान खुर्शीद को कांग्रेस से निकाल देना चाहिए। कैसे आप तुलना कर सकते हो भगवान की किसी व्यक्ति से? राम भगवान है, राम हमारा मान है, राम हमारा अभिमान है, राम हमारा सम्मान है, और राहुल गांधी से राम की तुलना कर रहे हैं। ये निश्चित रूप से हिंदू धर्म का और राम का अपमान है।
And viewers, we also spoke to Udit Raj of the Congress, where he has made a couple of points. He is saying that Congress is a true worshipper of Lord Ram and Rahul is working for the betterment of the people. Well, that's the comment coming in from the Congress right now. Let's play out that conversation that we have had with Udit Raj.
His personal liking. It's a personal expression, and it is he who should answer. If he has a love and affection for Rahul ji and dedication, which no politician I see in that way, and people are discussing about his attire, that is that bare T-shirt. In bare T-shirt, he is moving, and that also shows that his dedication. But as far as comparison of Lord Ram and Rahul ji is concerned, that in different personalities, different entities, and one is God and Rahul ji is a human being. But out of love and affection, perhaps he has compared. But definitely, entities are different, and that is, he is the best person to answer.
So we are also getting a top stories on that comment by Salman Khurshid, where at one hand we are seeing Salman Khurshid saying that Rahul Gandhi is like Lord Ram. Remember that Rahul Gandhi was seen walking in a just one t-shirt during the cold winter season. On the other hand, the BJP lambasted the Congress, saying that Salman Khurshid is taking part in psychophancy. Well, this is the top story we're tracking for you right now, and we'll get you all the top updates minute by minute as we track this story.
Felix is a non-COVID hospital. Still, we are taking all care to take care of our patients. At the entry point, there are segregated area for entry and exit. And in entry, everybody is going to be screened for the symptoms and temperature. Like the guard is trained to check the temperature. If temperature is high or they are suffering from fever, sore throat, cough, or difficulty in breathing, they have to go.
If you could show us the COVID room that you have installed.
I will show you first. This is the COVID fever clinic. This is a fever clinic outside the building where we screen the patient. Where we screen the patient for symptoms and do the COVID test. If COVID test is positive, then the patient will be shifted to the designated COVID hospital, because we are non-COVID hospital. He is the doctor. He is screening the patient and he is taking the temperature and all the vitals. After that, they do the COVID antigen test or rapid test. If that test is positive, then patient will be shifted to the COVID designated hospital, or we are having isolation room also. This is the area. If patient is sick, then we will take care of patient here only, and after stabilizing the patient, we will shift to the isolation ward. If patient is negative, if patient is negative, they don't have COVID, they don't have